Stop for a moment.
If you lost your job today, your stability and respect for the people around you, you would still be standing or you would collapse. Most people think it is strong until life tests it. And when the real pressure comes, talent does not respond, motivation does not respond, intelligence does not respond. Responds to the character. Almost 2,000 years ago, men who ruled empires, survived wars and faced betrayals, discovered a mental system so as not to break inside. It was not motivation, it was not mental training, it was Stoicism. And today you will learn the 9 Stoic lessons that not only strengthen your mind, but change the way you live, decide and choose. It is not abstract philosophy. It is an emotional survival strategy. Stay until the end, because lesson number 9 is the one that transforms discipline into personal power. Irreversible, and almost no one practices it correctly. Let's start. Most people lives reacts to messages, reacts to criticism, reacts to losses, reacts to momentary emotions, does not direct his life. Responds and reacting constantly wears out. That's why you see smart people making repeated bad decisions, capable people trapped in weak habits. The problem is not lack of information, it is a lack of internal government. The Stoics taught something radical. If you do not govern your mind, any princess will do it for you. Today, the is permanent. Notifications, anxiety comparisons. But the beginning, Stoic, is still intact. You don't control what happens, you control your response. And training that answer changes your practical destiny. This video is not to feel inspired for a few minutes. Is to install an operating mental system. Listen as if this were training. I do not understand. Lesson 1, control dichotomy. First lesson divides the world into 2 categories. What you control and what you don't. It seems simple. It is not. Most suffer from trying to control the external. Opinions, results, times, people. The Stoics reversed energy. Total control in own actions. From external results. When you apply this, your anxiety goes down and your sadness goes up because you stop expending emotional energy. Where there is no return, your effort becomes precise. Your discipline becomes stable. Your identity ceases to depend on approval. Practice this today. Before reacting, ask, this is up to me. If it does not depend, release it. If it does, if this principle already made you think differently, subscribe now to Fonda Stoico. This channel is not light motivation, is applied mental training like us to strengthen your character. Lesson 2, discipline on emotion 3. Second lesson, don't trust how you feel. Believe in your principles. Emotions are climate, character is architecture. If you decide to act only when you feel like it, your progress will be unstable, the Stoics. Trained action independent of the emotional state. Running with low energy is real power. True self-discipline is born here. Behavior governed by values, not impulses. This applies to physical training, to work, to relationships and self-control. Don't ask how I feel. Ask what should I do, and do it that simple. Mental response changes complete appearances. Lesson 3, memento mori. The Stoics practiced an exercise that today ended. Remembering death not to depress, but to prioritize memento mori. Remember that you're going to die, not tomorrow for sure. This awareness eliminates idiocy, reduces corporate pride, accelerates right decisions. When you know that time is limited, you stop postponing discipline, important conversations, and personal growth. Procrastination. lives from the illusion of infinite time. Action lives from the consciousness of finite time. It's not about fear. It is about clarity. Stoic daily question. If today were my last day, I would behave the same. This question involves behavior, agenda, and relationships. Becomes accurate and becomes intentional. Makes you dangerous. In the best sense, because you stop wasting. Lesson 4, Amor Fati says, don't just tolerate what happens, love it. Amor Fati, love of destiny, not resignation. Active acceptance, the Stoic does not say, this should not happen. Says this is working material. Says every event is the raw material of virtue love. Fati transforms resistance into usable energy. Resentment consumes mental power. Acceptance releases it. When you stop fighting with reality, you start using it. This does not eliminate the pain, eliminates the waste of pain, makes it a strategic advantage. Mental training here is profound. Not only bear to incorporate, not only endure, taking advantage of those who master this becomes anti-tragedy. If you got this far, you are no longer consuming content. You are training mind, and that deserves a conscious decision. Subscribe now to Stoic Foundation, because this is a practical manual of applied mental strength. Like us to reinforce the discipline algorithm and share it with someone in need. Interior structure is reminiscent of, you do not need more information, you need more execution. Stay. Because the next lesson is the one that separates knowledge of actual transformation. Lesson 5. The obstacle is the way. The 5th Stoic lesson completely changes how you interpret problems. Most people sees the obstacle as a sign to stop. The Stoic sees it as a sign of training. Marcus Aurelius wrote something that seems simple, but it's explosive when you understand it. The impediment to action advances action. What gets in the way becomes on the road. It's not poetry, it's mental engineering. Each friction strengthens a specific capability. Columbia strengthens independence. Difficulty strengthens resistance. Delay strengthens patience. Criticism strengthens self-control. The modern mistake is to look for roots without resistance. But physical and mental muscles only grow counterload. Ask this with each difficulty. What capacity is training this in me? When you change the question, you change the emotional experience. The problem is no longer an enemy. Becomes 7th lesson 6. Controls the trial, not the event. The Stoics taught that we do not suffer for the facts. We suffer from the interpretation of the facts. Two people miss the same opportunity, one breaks. Another is strengthened. The event is identical, the judgment is different. Epictetus made it clear, you are not disturbed by things, but what you think about them. This is one of the mental tools, most powerful that exist, because it restores immediate control. Between stimulus and response, there is evaluation, and such an evaluation can be trained. When something happens, practice this pause. Describes the fact without adjectives, without dramatization. No automatic emotional narrative, only data. Then decides the useful answer. This technique reduces impulsivity, improves decisions, and elevates personal authority. It is not coldness. It is precision. The Stoic does not deny emotion. Governance through conscious interpretation. To master judgment is to master experience. Lesson 7. Voluntary discomfort training. The Stoics practice voluntary discomfort. Occasional fasting, cold simplicity, silence. Not out of punishment for preparation. If you only work in comfort, you are useless. If you can operate on discomfort, you are free. Training difficulty reduces fear of losing comfort. And when fear goes down, decision-making power goes up. You can practice today cold showers training when you don't want to. Working with outs. Reduce instant hydration. This is not extreme, it is calibration. The goal is not to suffer, but to expand tolerance. The more tolerance, the more options. The more options, the more control. Stoic does not expect crisis to train strength, builds it before. Lesson 8 speaks less, act more. The Stoics were suspicious of excessive self-narrative. Talk about what you will do produces a false sense of progress. Silent action produces real progress. Less, add. More execution. When you reduce external explanation, increases energy available for internal execution. This also protects focus. Every time you announce goals prematurely, scattered impulse. Practice private progress. Public results. Character needs no advertising. Needs consistency. In the era of overexposure, silent action is a competitive advantage. Lesson 9, identity rather than result. The final lesson unites all of the above. Do not chase results. Builds identity. The result is a consequence. Identity is cause if you define yourself as disciplined. You train if you define yourself as an apprentice. You study if you define yourself as strong. Resist identity directs automatic behavior. The Stoics did not ask what achievement I want. Asked what kind of person I should be. When you answer that, the behavior aligns itself. And when behavior is aligned, the result comes as an inevitable side effect. Do not build goals. It builds operational character. Now unites all lessons, internal control, discipline without emotion. Obstacle is training. Mortality is clarity. Love of destiny. Conscious judgment. Voluntary discomfort. Silent action. Strong identity. These are not phrases. Is a mental operating system, when practiced together, produces stability under pressure. And stability under pressure is an advantage in any field. Physical training, business relationships. Personal leadership. The common mistake is to consume principles without integrating. No collections ideas. Installs habits. Stoicism is not admired, it is executed. And its power is not felt in easy days. Reveals itself in difficult days. What this looks like in real life. You wake up without negotiating with the alarm. You train even if you don't feel like it. You respond with pause, not impulse. You don't argue for ego. You don't quit out of emotion. You make decisions on principle. Practice small daily discomfort. Reduces noise. 2. You execute in silence. You evaluate your judgments. Remember finite time. You accept what comes and use it on repeat.
Builds visible character.
And the visible character changes opportunities. People believe that the transformation is dramatic. It is not. It is invisible, disciplined repetition. These 9 Stoic lessons do not promise comfort. Promise strength, not ease. Promise capacity. And the capacity is superior to comfort because it allows you to operate when others collapse. In a world of reaction, be internal government. In a world of I know how to focus. In a world of complaints, I know execution. That's the Stoic advantage. It's not old, it's eternal. It is not theory, it is practice. It is not dynamic, it is training. And now you have the map. The difference will be made by your practice. If this mental training brought you real value, turn it into immediate action. Subscribe to Stoic Foundation. We do not build motivation here. We build character. Like us to get this message. Reach more people in need of inner strength. Share this video with someone who is going through a difficult test. Could be the tool that gives it a mental structure. And now I recommend you to watch the next video of the channel. where we convert these principles in daily routine step by step. Remember, you don't need to feel ready. You need to start. See you at the next training session.